It was very stupid that he pressured her into that.
Basically was going for himself. He wanted revenge against the woman who killed his brother.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, technically, Ellie and the other two, they were dragged into it.
Oh, I did do this one illegitimate. God damn it.
And by the way, Uma actually blames him for what happened
Fuck
to her
that thing.
ex-boyfriend because the father still cared about him, if you notice.
Yeah.
That is the father of their child, after all.
Very true. I'll show you the world me and my friends built. No, that's the thing about The Last of Us. Neither side is actually good.
And get this, yet Lev technically was the one who saved them. The kid who went with Abby,
Yeah.
even he told her that she went too far.
Which is interesting to say the least. Yeah, we had just discovered the Nether update, so we're still gonna explore it a little bit. Ooh. This is okay. So this is my buddy Demon's room. This is my room, and then this is Sunscale's room. And this is the everybody room. Everybody. I'm wanting to put something up here, maybe like a giant painting. This is the village. I captured a raider. Or pillager, whatever the fuck. That's right, I have nothing. Fuck. Oopsie, doopsie. Did they ever put that redstone away like I asked them to? They did not. That means it's still on his person. God damn it, demon. Yeah, that's basically what I did. I also have to move my kitty. Where are my kids? Hi, Suki. Where's Jazz and Shadow? Where are they? Where's the other kitty? There's the redstone. Redstone. He made the maps, that's right. Okay. We also got Crying Obsidian. Should only be fun with a diamond pickaxe. Look at this. This is our legit world. One of many that we're planning on making. No, we built it near a village because you're actually more likely to find diamond if you find a mine shaft right next to a village. For some reason, I've always had really good luck with that. I have captured that tower 4 times and it just doesn't stay captured, so I just gave up. We could turn into an XP farm, I don't remember how though. Well, hello there. Hi, Jet. Hey, Brett, is Shadow in there with you? This could be Shadow then. Hello. Hey, kitty. His old room. There we go. Let's see. I want to build something. Nah, that's fine. Golden City Challenge, 10 years in Minecraft, Bonus Lands World 1. Let's just go somewhere random and build something. Make sure the building block again. Or the command block. Bingo. God damn it, I'm gonna put this shit up again. Come on. The damn button is jammed again.
I think they're absolutely great. I'm really, really proud of them. There's so much fancy stuff going in here.
The damn button is jammed again.
The mechanics that make a lot of sense, but it all seems to work somehow. The power path activator. I don't know if it's just my bad luck or if I'm doing something wrong, but whenever I build the tripwire-based pufferfish player detectors, the pufferfish always escape and die. So I thought I'd come up with a slightly new design which utilizes some slightly different game mechanics. So here we have the pufferfish in a waterlogged fence post with a pressure plate on top. When the pufferfish puffs up, it will then activate that pressure plate, obviously giving us a redstone output. But this setup here doesn't give any room for escape. So you're in here forever, buddy. The lazy flush. This is for people who are too lazy to build something like this. You can just construct a piston door in the corner. Is it boring? Yes. Is it bland? Very bland. I would think you're super bland if you build this. I mean, if I came to your base and I saw this, I would be judging you a lot. Judging you lots, okay? Because it's so unimaginative, but for some people it fits the bill. A farmer's button. This is a pretty nice looking field of wheat. Nothing too curious or strange about it. If I walked past, I wouldn't notice anything. But if you take a look here, you can see there's a slight gap. And if we utilize the hitboxes, we can right click through that gap, hitting a button, which allows us to activate some form of hidden redstone device. This is a sneaky one, okay? It is a sneaky one. Only the keenest of keen eyes would be able to spot it. The underwater easy in and easy out is a bit of an interesting concept in that I thought I'd just try and build it and see if it worked, and it actually seems to work quite nicely. So currently we're on the inside of our hidden base. The ocean is above us. If we hit this button right here, you can see that Soul Sand gets swapped across, we get a shot upwards, the trapdoor closes up behind us, and then we can leave our hidden base behind without anyone knowing that it's there. Now if we were entering the hidden base, we'd obviously have some form of secret activation device that would open up our trapdoor, the magma would stay there, we'd drop through the water without having to hold shift or do anything like that, and we'd immediately drop down into our hidden base. The overwater easy in and easy out is probably one of my favourite trapdoors to exit from. So here we are on the inside of my hidden base. I know it needs a little bit of work, but if we hit this button right here, you can see that we get launched upwards and then the trapdoor closes up behind us. Makes it so much easier to get out of that hidden base. And if it's blue redstone, another one that is crazy how small it is. Look, 2 blocks wide, okay, paper thin, stone breaker. Now I will be the first to admit that this is no small redstone contraption, okay, this is quite a beefy one, but it does come with the added benefit that you don't need any specific items in your inventory. No redstone torch keys, no special key passes, all you need is a pickaxe, and you need to know what block to break. When you break that specific stone block, it will be replenished, you'll get yourself a redstone output, and that will activate your hidden entrance. It's pretty smart, but it's huge. The entrance from 2012. This little thing was featured in my 50 things you can build in Minecraft video, but sometimes it's good to remind people of the old gold days. If we just jump through this lava, you can see we drop through straight into water, we barely take any damage in survival, and then we've popped into our hidden base. I mean, it's as simple as that, no redstone involved, and the best thing is if someone sees you do this, you look amazing. You've just jumped off a ledge into lava like a total nutcase and somehow haven't died. Not a hidden staircase, but a hidden entrance in a staircase. It's a fairly lengthy name, but I'd say it's quite a descriptive one. Here is our not hidden staircase, and if we activate this thing, it reveals our hidden entrance. Now, as you can see, this is 1 block wide, but the good thing about this redstone design is it's expandable, so if you want something slightly wider, then all you have to do is copy the redstone over. But if you want it in 1 wide configuration, and as you can see, I mean, it's about as small as it can be. This thing is a slither of a redstone contraption, and I would say that's the technical term for it. The composter pull-through. Once again, Minecraft 1.14 comes to the rescue in 2 ways. First off, we've got composter, quite a nice little block, but more importantly, we have the crawl feature. We can literally package ourselves up and pull ourselves through a wall to gain access into a hidden base. Now this looks extra spectacular from the third person. They're very predictable, but also very good hidden activation device. It consists of a little item filter. I mean, you've seen me use these in my bunker videos. Once again, you throw a specific type of item on a specific part of the ground, and it will trigger a redstone circuit. First off, a player needs to know where to throw the items, which is unlikely that they're going to be able to guess that, but they'd also need to guess what item, and also what you've renamed the item. If they were to try and brute force this, they'd be there for a long time. A redstone action up at the top there, all very nice and in sync. I love these things. If I was to hide away a base, this might be what I'd go for. Hiding in plain sight, or as I like to call it, the Illuminati button. Now, if you're really looking for it, you can just about see it. I'm under no illusions that there's no way that a player can find this, but in the context of regular Minecraft terrain, with a giant cliff face in front of you, you're going to be hard pushed to spot something like that, especially if you're not looking for it. I spent way too long building this small redstone contraption, but I'm proud of it. I'm really liking the descriptive names for these things. This is very similar to the path switch that we saw earlier on in the video, but it has an added complexity that I wanted to put a trapdoor in there as well. So when we convert this grass block into a path or this dirt into farmland, it will get moved out the way, create a trapdoor that we can drop through, and then we pushed back up into place. Seems simple enough, doesn't it? I thought it'd be simple too. Oh, the timing's very specific. The timings are super specific, and it's a very unstable circuit, but I managed to make it work after a few teary moments. Staircase fresh out the wall. Just as a quick disclaimer, this is utterly pointless, okay? It really is over the top, but it's over the top in the best possible way. This is like flexing, but with redstone. If you have this as your entrance, I mean, it's so ridiculous. So you've got stairs popping up out of the ground, then we have this popping up here, and then these blocks get retracted back, and then we have a 2x2 flush piston door up at the top. So you essentially create a staircase up into your hidden entrance, and it looks amazing. And I gotta say, I think I did a pretty good job with the redstone as well. So the main bulk of it is just 2 blocks wide, and then up at the top here, things get a little bit bigger for the flush trapdoor, but still, this is not that big, and also not really that complicated. I want one of these. They're simply the best. Just the best. This probably had the longest development time out of all the builds in the video, but I'm definitely the most proud of it, just because it's another one that is super compact. I mean, look, everything kind of fits within this really small space. You can actually put 2 of them next to one another and mirror it to create a 2-wide system, and just look how streamlined this is. How cool is that? So we flick the lever, we've got ourselves a completely flat wall, nothing to see there, and then we activate it once again, everything folds out of the way, and we've got ourselves a staircase.
If you're like me, and you find redstone a little bit scary, then this might be the video for you, because I have 10 ways to hide your Minecraft house without any redstone whatsoever.
Hello everyone, this is Mumbo, and welcome back. Trend going around in the YouTube drawing community of 10 minutes, 1 minute, 10 second challenges, where someone draws something in 10 minutes and then draws the same thing in 1 minute and then draws the same thing in 10 seconds. It's a really entertaining idea for a video, and it seems like the perfect fit for Minecraft, so I thought it would be a good idea to start things off with a bunker. Predictable, I know. I make no secret of the fact that I absolutely love building bunkers in Minecraft. They're probably one of the most satisfying things to construct for me. Anyway, I actually think that this seems like a pretty good spot, and I'm actually going to be flipping things around. We're going to do the 10-second build, then the 1-minute build, and then the 10-minute build. I'm going to push for scripts because this is going to be fast-paced. And 3, 2, 1, and go. Okay, so I would say we need a space that looks a little bit like this. We're going to need a bed, a chest, an anvil, some form of furnace, and I would say a crafting bench, and then 2 trapdoors, and that's everything done. So, if we do a very quick tour of the structure, we have got an entrance system, we've got a place to sleep, a place to store all of our items, we've got a place to repair our items, a furnace, and also a crafting bench to craft up the items. I would say that is pretty much all the essentials, and then to get out, all you have to do is flip up that trapdoor and then flip up the next one. That is everything. I mean, I have to admit it's not particularly concealed and the security isn't exactly brilliant, but for 10 seconds, I'm actually pretty proud of myself. So that was a massive success. Now it is time to move on to the next challenge, which is 6 times as much time as
Yes,
we
I
had in the
agree.
previous
They
challenge.
should change the term
Still
black on
doesn't sound
black
like very
to
much.
poor on
My
poor.
goal is ambitious once again.
But it's just one of those problems that cannot be ignored.
I feel like they need to change the name of the organization of Black Lives Matter if they're only going to insinuate that only some Black Lives Matter, if they're going to ignore black murders between 2 African Americans. If they're going to ignore that as an issue, then they need to change the name of the organization, because the term is very broad and is supposed to tackle all forms of injustice towards African Americans. If that doesn't include murders from their own kin, then it needs to be changed. It's simple as that.
Thing is,
I'm
it's
gonna-
like I said, a lot of people are assuming. Now, some I can see why it's like a counter argument, but for other white people to say it, that's not the case at all. No.
I know. Wait. They've been doing that since the fucking 60s.
Now that I'm fully limbered up, let's get to it. 3, 2, 1.
Early
go.
70s,
Okay,
yeah.
so let's take out all of this. I am already stressing out. So what I want to do is I want to create a flush piston door. So that is going to be like that. Then we need redstone on top of there. Okay, that's all of that finished. Then what I thought we'd do is create just a simple hose switch right there. And that is all of that redstone done. Okay, now we need to pop through down into this section. I'm not even looking at the time at this point because I have no clue how long we've been going for. But then we need all of this stuff. So that is going to be a bed, a furnace, a chest, and then a crafting bench. And I have so much time left. I mean, look at this. I can chill out. Buttons, redstone, and there we have it. We have got ourselves an armor equipping station as well. So if I just put this stuff into my inventory and then fill in all of these dispensers right here with all of the necessary items, then this little machine
Because
right here
I
will
basically
equip us
have less than 30
with
minutes to
full
use the
diamond
computer.
armor. We are looking good. I find it so funny that when I'm in a rush
Alright.
and I'm trying to do something in a hurry, my voice goes like this. It's like I'm talking through gritted teeth. I don't know what, my throat just tightens up. I don't know what's wrong with me. Anyway, weird voices aside, we've actually managed to build something pretty cool here. If we till this soil, you can see that opens up our trapdoor and drops us down into the base area where we have everything necessary for survival. And I have just tried it. Yes, you can actually sleep in this bed. I mean, it's a bit uncomfortable on the knees, but other than that, the crafting bench isn't causing any problems. And the coolest thing about this place, in my opinion, is the fact that, of course, we have a fully functioning diamond armor equipper in the corner. I was not expecting to be able to build that in that small space of time. We've actually done a pretty decent job. And of course, when you want to close up your trapdoor, all you have to do is untill this soil and everything will shut up behind you. And then eventually this grass will spread over and the base will be completely hidden away. Now that is not bad for 1 minute. Actually, it's a little bit depressing, really. I mean, think how many minutes I wasted in a day. I could have built at least 100 bunkers yesterday. I wasted a lot of minutes. I discovered Dr. Popper on Instagram. Yeah, moving swiftly on from that, I don't know if you've spotted, but we've burst into a new world, and now we're going to be popping into the 10-minute challenge. This one should be slightly less of a tight squeeze. Alright, 3, 2, 1, and go. Now, once again, we're going to be going for a similar flush trapdoor system, but this one is going to be a tiny bit more advanced. Instead of using something like a hose switch, we're going to be using a redstone torch key, just because I tend to prefer those. And also, I don't know if you noticed, but the previous trapdoor that we constructed in the last design, well, it was a little bit of a tricky one to get out of, so we're going to be working on that too. There is our piston door. Now, the next thing that we have to construct is actually the redstone torch key, which is really, really simple, but I haven't actually built one of these for a little while, so I'm kind of struggling to remember how to do it. I think it's something along the lines of this, and then it's a repeater, and then some redstone, and I think it powers... No, that definitely seems wrong. Right, we got there in the end, so I'm actually going to increase the delay of that one, and I think we're going to build up some form of comparator pulse extender right here. Yeah, so that will allow us to actually extend out this pulse so that we can actually get through our trapdoor, because otherwise we could have a bit of an issue. So that should do that, and if we place down a redstone torch, that's all great, but we need it to be flipped, so I'm guessing something like...
library I was able to renew, but the 3 books I do have to return. Someone's request is calling dibs on it, which is fine. It's a good book, but at the same time, it's one of those workshop books where it doesn't exactly teach you about mixed media. It's like I said, there were colors who avoid using the hot or even rough press papers like the plague. And like I said, Margaret is just like using hot press because, as I told you, Arches is running low on full press paper. Like I said, I'm not too upset about it.
Michael.
Should hopefully do the trick. Much better. Alright, yeah, that's looking good. Okay, next thing that we need to do is build up this little slime block launcher down at the bottom here, which is going to launch us out. The only thing is that it needs to have a slight delay on it. I imagine this should probably do the trick. So if we do something like this and maybe put 4 ticks running into it, hopefully that should just be enough. No, of course it isn't. Right, let's go for something a little bit more extreme. That's that, and then there we go. And now, I mean seriously. Perfect. Yeah, that couldn't have been much better. I think it's safe to say that we are not going to be winning any style points for this build. It's not looking good at this point in time. Actually, you know what, now that I think about it, we've got plenty of time, so let's make this a tiny bit prettier by potentially putting in some walls and actually a floor in this one. Okay, it's not the prettiest place in the world, but it's definitely better. We have 4 minutes left to construct this thing, and I thought it'd be a good idea to build some form of defense system. I mean, how difficult is that going to be? Probably quite difficult, but let's give it a go. Come on, where's the redstone lamp? Right, okay, there it is. So that actually doesn't need to be connected up. We need to connect up the dispensers. Now, whereabouts? Oh no! Thank goodness for that. That's so typical that I would choose to use concrete powder in my walls. Anyway, we managed to build all of that within 1.5 minutes, so that means that we have... How long do we even have left? I don't even know.
My 10 seasons of research has concluded. 10 seasons of injecting pure streams of pop culture into a captive viewer. What has that done to their mind?
Oh, what am I doing?
It's the TV event of the decade.
Carol!
I'm surprised you had time to answer the bat signal. You seem too busy to answer my texts.
I lost my bat phone.
The 200th episode of Robot Chicken, Sunday, July 26th at 12:15.
To infinity and beyond!
Only on Adult Swim. About a year ago, I started having some pain in my hands and I didn't know why. So I...
But no, I'm just... Okay, that's good. So that's deactivated the system, but if the system is active, then you don't want to walk through and break into this base. Good stuff. Right, we should probably actually get the bunkery things in. So let's get all of... Where is it? There, these bits. So we need this. I'm assuming we need some chests. We're probably going to need some furnaces too, and a crafting bench. Okay, what else can we construct? Oh my word! I know, when in doubt, build an anvil replacement system. So... I can't even remember how to build one, I'm panicking. It's so dark, I can't even see where I am. I have to finish this. Right, okay, redstone torch, I think. And then I oh, how do you do it? Finally, I've just about remembered. Okay, so redstone torch there, redstone dust there, that powers each other at the same time. Right, we need to clear out all of the anvils so that this thing actually functions. Then we're going to need to update this guy, and then we need to replace all of the anvils. Where are they? Where are they? We are running out of time so badly here. And I want to double check that everything's done. Phew! I think we might have just about pulled it off. That is, our 10 minutes has just ticked over. And this is what our little bunker looks like. Have we forgotten anything? Let's see. So, I mean, what would you normally have in a bunker? I guess we've got the furnaces, we've got the chests, we've got the crafting bench, we've got the bed. We have an anvil. I can't think of anything else. I think that we've actually managed to pull something off here, and this is quite a nice little spot that we've created here. I actually really like the concrete powder in the walls. Right, okay, let's give it a spin, see if it will function. So, as you saw at the start, to gain access to this thing, you're going to need a redstone torch, and I believe you place it on there. The redstone torch then gets broken, and you drop into the base, and then everything closes up behind you. Now, we do have ourselves a defense system, so if you're in your base doing your thing, you can activate this. So if anyone comes through into the base and utilizes your little hidden entrance without you wanting them to, then they will get blasted by a whole ton of arrows. And these things are pretty brutal. So that seems to be functioning pretty nicely. And of course we've got all of the standard bunker stuff like chests, furnaces and everything like that. But we have the added redstone contraption of a nice little anvil replacement system. So when your anvil breaks, it will be replaced by the redstone. Very, very cool. Oh, and of course, if you want to leave this place, I mean, it's a bit of a hassle with these flush trapdoors and things like that. Getting out, it's a tiny bit tricky. So the machine does it all for you. It launches you out back onto the surface, and then everything closes up behind you, and there is absolutely no evidence that you have been here. So go, ladies and gents, that rounds up today's ridiculously stressful redstone video. I'm going to have to take a cold bath after this one, but I do hope you enjoyed it. I love this concept. It's a lot of fun to mess around with. So let me know down in the comment section if you want to see it again, and if so, what do you want to see next? Anyway, I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit that like button. If you really loved it, then make sure to subscribe. But thanks for watching, guys. This has been Mumbo, and I'm out. I'll see you later.
Record-breaking phenomenon Parasite made history, winning 4 Academy Awards, including Best Director Bong Joon-ho and Best Picture of the Year. Parasite.
I've been living with knee pain for my entire life. I don't let it rule my world, but it's painful. It got to the point where simple tasks like walking the dog became really problematic. I've been using prescription Voltaren for about 2 years. Voltaren gel makes sense because it's a targeted therapy. First thing I do is I wake up in the morning and I put it on my knees, and then I'm able to take the dog on a good 2 or 3 mile walk without any problems.
Wait,
I prefer Voltaren gel over pills. Max, he's a big dog, so he needs a lot of
During
exercise.
combat,
Luckily, with Voltaren,
bullshit
I'm
I
able
went
to
through in
get
Kingdom
out there
Hearts.
and walk with him as much as he needs without the worry of
But
pain.
yeah, well,
And now,
obviously,
literally, he's
no
the
one wasn't
one
really
who
using
has
it
to
to
stop
counter
and
the
not me.
argument. But what can I say?
People are in denial.
Now, I don't know about you guys, but I am really enjoying all of the latest
It's not so
Minecraft
that they're
snapshots. For me
ignoring the
personally,
issue. What
they
they're saying,
completely
that problem
changed the
has
way
been
the game
resolved.
feels.
I'm like,
Originally,
no,
Minecraft was one
it
of those
has
games where
not.
everything happened on land, and oceans were kind of forgotten
And
about. I mean, you
Snake
just
even
had
said that
a
the
big
fact that
open
some of
area
these
of water
rappers, they're
with
basically
gravel at the
glorifying
bottom of
it.
it. Not exactly exciting, but if we pop underneath
Because not
here,
even some of the new
I mean,
age
it
rappers
just
have even
feels
said
so
a word
alive.
about what's
We
been
have
going on
these
lately.
guys, which are absolutely terrifying. We have all of the vegetation. We have
So
the
in other
fish
words,
swimming
I
around,
just
and
question
obviously
their
all of the new
judgment.
structures. I'm loving it, and I definitely would like to build a base actually underneath the ocean. So today, we're going to be trying our best to create an awesome underwater bunker. Now, if there's one thing that I don't really like about the latest snapshot, it's how the player seems to move in creative mode underwater. You are just, as soon as you double tap W at all, even if you do it accidentally, you go straight into swim mode, which is slightly infuriating. Yeah, it's a bit all over the place. Anyway, the space has been cleared out, so now I'm trying my best to work on the airlock, because obviously this is a base underwater.
Alright,
You
so
have
once
to
I'm
have
done
some
eating,
form
I'm
of
gonna go
airlock
downstairs
system.
and
It would be
wash.
rude of us not
There's
to.
an extra
So
core
I'm
I found in
thinking
the car
some
too.
cyan clay in this area here. The theme of the build is going to be quite blue. So we're going to have blocks going up like this. This is going to be the airlock
And something
room.
tells me to
And then
clear
what will happen
behind
is, once you
Brainwash,
open
she
up
was
these
even
doors, obviously
attacked
the water
for it
will
as
flow in.
well.
We'll have another set of piston doors right here, perhaps with glass on the front of them. And what we'll do is we'll have a water draining system which will then drain all of the water from the room, and then these doors will open up. Now, I really don't want to speak too soon on this one, but I think I might have come up with something that might actually work. So what we need is that there, redstone dust there, redstone dust there, and redstone dust there. That will power all of those pistons. And this could actually function. So if we hit this button down the bottom here, we should see that the exterior doors will open up, and look, all of the water is currently inside the airlock, and then we're waiting for it to drain out. And there we go. That worked. And it's tiny. Look at the size of this thing. That is so cool. So look, it opens, it's filled in with water. We're going to be standing in there, then gradually the water drains out, and then there we go, doors open. It doesn't get much better than that. That has worked first time, and it's tiny. Now, I just want to warn you, I'm not the most musical person on the planet, but I think this works. So for the opening, there we go, and then cool, so we have two different things going on. We've got the ticks as you open up the doors, and then we have the boop, 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 boop as you actually open up the final door. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Right, let's move on. Let me go if I'm going crazy here, but does this look kind of cool? I feel like this wall actually looks kind of cool. If we get some quartz in up at the top, I quite like it. I like the way that that looks. Now that we have a rough plan of what this place is going to look like, I've been thinking it would be really cool to have some form of almost like a lava lamp, or maybe even fishing aquarium type thing in both corners of this room. Now I'm going to try my best to not make the entire thing symmetrical, but I definitely think this would be a nice detail. I'm just trying to work out how on earth to do it. Now don't get me wrong, it looks brilliant. It looks super, super cool, but it is quite noisy. So I've added in this lever right here so that we can toggle it on or off. I personally love it. I'd have it running all the time. But yeah, that noise probably would begin to drive you round the bend just a tiny bit. Anyway, I'm going to switch it off. We'll build up this side as well, so we have that corner and also this full corner as well. So we'll have one on both sides, and it should end up looking pretty good. If not, yeah, a little bit loud. I've actually done some thinking. We're not going to have it on that side because I've got some different plans for that area, but we do have both halves, one of them green, one of them orange, and both of them look good. So that is now all completed, and I've just thought we don't actually have any way to get through our door at this point in time. Like right now, we can't activate it. We just have a blank wall, so let's work that one out. I decided to go for a torch key because that's very simple underneath the ocean, and all we have to do is place in the redstone torch, and then there is our door opening, and if we just pop inside, you can see that the water drops down from the ceiling, and then there we go. We are now able to go into the base. Fantastic. That is, I mean, I absolutely love that. Okay, moving on. We've got so much left to do. These walls have given me a cool idea. So obviously we're using concrete powder here, and we can definitely use that to our advantage to create some form of hidden chest system. So we can have piston extenders underneath here, all triple piston extenders, and they will drop all of those blocks down, revealing a bunch of chests, and then on this side I was thinking that we can have some furnaces. That would be amazing, but it could be quite complicated. Yeah, now that I've laid out all of the pistons, it's a little bit more complicated than I first imagined. But you know what we're like, we're going to commit to it, and we're going to see
there we go.
Make it work, and if we can't,
That is what I meant to do, that'll do.
But from what I can tell here, and it's early days
Damn,
yet,
that's powerful.
that shouldn't be necessary, because through some strange fluke of wiring, I've actually managed to get it, for the most part, working. So look, this is the only one that is actually functional at this point in time. And if you flick this lever, you can see that there is the full triple piston extension. That's now up there. And then we need to turn off the lever because it's a pulse-based system. But if we flick the lever again, you can see that it comes up, it grabs it, and then it pulls it back down. And we just need to do the final block retraction, which should be as simple as just a falling edge monostable running into these blocks here. No way! If I just place in these blocks, I think it might be working. Powering. There we go. So that's dropped down, and that has revealed where all of our furnaces and all of the chests are going to be. So this is going to have like a hard wall there, and then we'll have the
I really wish I didn't
go
do
around
that.
like that. That looks so cool. And then when we hit the button once again, that's quick too. I can't get over this one. I can do it all day long. If we just hit this button here, that is one of the most satisfying things to watch. We've got the furnaces over there, the chest right there, and then when we hit the button again, it's so fast.
By the way, I retrieved something very important.
Oh, that is so cool.
And yeah, I even mentioned this is why John and I have
Alright, okay, well we have made a solid start to our ocean underwater bunker. What comes
By all
next?
means, I
think I've just come up with a really cool concept. I'm not 100% certain this is going to work though, but what I wanted to do is I wanted to create... No, it's broken. It's broken
like
badly.
I said, there is someone who's an activist and she got fed up with that shit.
How has that broken how it has?
But some of us can't
Okay, now that I've fixed that up, I have created a relatively interesting concept in which we have a pop-out infinite water source.
And
now, as
like
you guys
I
know, that was
said,
actually a
you
recent
took the
redstone
easy
video
way
that I
out.
did with a pop-up hidden pool. That was considerably more complicated, but this actually works quite well in the context of a base. You can see that this is all the redstone here. We just have some simple block swappers, and then we just retract that central block. But it looks great, if you're asking me. There's so many satisfying to watch builds here. In fact, every single build we've done in today's video so far has been incredibly satisfying to look at. I'm holding out some serious hope that this is going to work. So if I place in some magma blocks down there, or is it soul sand? We need soul sand down at the bottom there. So if I place those down at the bottom, and then rake some of the blocks up the top here. Okay, water is flowing in. This is good. This is what we wanted. ahead that was going to launch us right out. Can we have water sources in here? Does that affect anything? What about water sources down here? Oh, that looks good. But it doesn't feel, it's not fast. Oh, that was kind of my plan. But, as mentioned earlier on, don't worry. We run into roadblocks, we try and work around them, and we come up with new concepts. And I think I've come up with a good one. So if we... Okay, yeah, that will shoot us up to the surface. That's brilliant. So what I'm thinking is underneath these soul sand blocks, we'll have some slime blocks down there. They'll launch us up. As they launch us up, we'll open up a trapdoor on the surface that will pull this back. We'll then extend across the soul sand blocks, the water will flow down, we'll hit the soul sand, and we'll be shot straight the way up to the surface of the water. Okay, now I need to work out all the timing circuitry for this thing, which is going pretty well so far. If we hit this button, you can see that the slime blocks launch us up, and then we get stuck in this chamber right here. So now what we have to do is create a trapdoor up at the top, which will allow the water to flow in, and then we should have ourselves a working system, I think, potentially, maybe. Right, so, button press. Yes! Oh my word, I can't believe that actually just worked. That was, once again, first time we managed to pull that off. Hang on, I'm going to pop through into spectator mode, and I'm going to shoot back down to the bottom. I can't believe that just worked. That is ridiculous. I was not expecting that. So if we just hit the button, and there we go. Oh, that is amazing. Oh no, I wonder, now this is something that I wasn't really planning on doing, but I wonder if it will work with a boat. You can place a boat on land, can't you? I mean, it might need a little bit of work. I don't know if it's something that's worth pursuing particularly. Then again, it has just gone straight through and is now up on the surface. So clearly, it would function. Now, I've made some pretty serious changes to the redstone circuitry, and I've made sure that the pulse stays on for long enough to actually allow the boat to reach up to the surface, because if it doesn't, then the boat sinks back down to the bottom, which isn't perfect, but it should now function. What? So, what? Okay, by the look of things, the boat is out of the question.
And as I told you, Chris Banner, he got out of that industry.
Fun, I mean,
even he feels bad that he was a part of the problem.
That's wicked. But we aren't quite finished yet. As you can see, I've filled in all of the ceiling, and I've done all of the remaining walls as well. And you can see that we still have quite a bit of space to work with that currently doesn't have any redstone contraptions on the inside. Sorry, I wanted to remind myself of how cool that thing is. Anyway, what I think we should do is, I mean, this is an ocean base. So obviously we need to have some form of AFK fish farm. I just hope that they actually work in this version of Minecraft. I'm not sure that they do. I'm not 100% certain about this one because, I mean,
Rihanna,
it kind of looks like it works, but I can't see the bobber. And I don't seem to be catching any fish. So, I mean, there's a chance that it is working. The actual system itself does seem to work. The trapdoor opens when the bobber is in the water, but there's just no visible bobber. So either this is a functional AFK fish farm, or it's a historic AFK fish farm. Either way, I think it looks quite cool. Now, what on earth do we do about this back wall here? We have got a ton of space to play with, and I have no clue what I want to do with it. I really don't. I was thinking maybe, well, originally, if this thing was working well, we'd have an item elevator and then a storage system for all of the items, but it doesn't look like that's working, so instead I've just got this little chest right here. What do we do with this? Well, we've got a bed sorted now. That's done. I don't know how well we'd be able to respawn from that thing. I imagine probably not, but it fits in and it looks pretty cool in there. Still nothing though. Okay, I've come up with something, and I think it's going to end up looking pretty cool. What we're going to have is we're going to have a little villager trading area out the back here that is once again going to be concealable, because I absolutely love this system, but this one's going to be slightly different. So it's actually going to pull this top set of concrete powder back. Now, I'm assuming if I have something like a sign here, so if we place signs going all the way across, it doesn't necessarily have to be signed. In fact, I'd probably rather something like an iron trapdoor. If we could do that and then have all of those be powered, or even potentially not. They look quite cool like that. And then we have this. So that will be retracted out of the way, and then all of our villagers will be standing here. I wonder if they're... I wonder if there's any way that we can force them to stay where they are. This is getting a little bit tricky. So that guy there... Right, I suppose we'll have one of those. We'll stop him from travelling off the edge. And... Okay, he's making his way back onto the minecart. What? What's going on? How has that happened? That makes absolutely... Oh, why is that block missing? Oh my word,
Yeah,
this
well,
is tricky.
but-
We've got them all in. It was a massive pain in the backside, and also if you're wondering what these slabs are about, it's because if you put 3 villagers next to one another, apparently they all push themselves off of the rails, which isn't exactly brilliant. So we've had to split them all up, but we've got there. And I've just thought to myself, I now need to do the redstone. I probably should have done the redstone first, because I'm certain, in fact, I'm 100% certain, that we're probably going to have to break these guys and rearrange them. So part 1 is now done. If we flick this lever, you can see that all of the blocks pop up, and then when we flick the lever once again, you can see that all of those blocks drop down. But the one thing that's missing is obviously this top section right here. So these blocks are going to be pushed back and forth. Now the thing that makes it difficult is that obviously we need to push these blocks now, but then on the retraction, we need to retract them first, and then allow for the double piston extender to happen. So it's like a flip side system. And I believe that should now be completed. So first test.
Well, no, I know. If I pick him up, he'll kill me.
That
He
was
does
close,
not like me picking him up.
He likes you. I just
but it
don't
seems
really
to have
like.
worked.
I guess it's because I'm a woman.
And then there is the retraction.
I have
So there
that
we go.
soft
That
touch.
is
I don't know.
one fully functioning system.
You go ahead and
just
believe
about.
that.
And it looks pretty cool,
I
doesn't it?
don't.
Now,
You
I'm
don't have a
thinking
soft
in
touch.
terms of what we have for marking
My
out
bleeding
these
face
villages,
last
I
night is a
reckon we
definite,
should have some item frames
Jay
down at
doesn't
the
like
bottom
picking you
here
up,
that
but
are out
Cheryl
all of the
doesn't.
time, so people can
He
tell
likes
there's something
you. He
behind the
purrs
wall,
when you
and
pet
they have
him.
to reveal it by flicking the lever. So, for example,
And he doesn't hiss at you
our lab
either.
coat guy can have, if we get an enchanted book of some form, then we can put that inside there. This guy is a butcher, so we can grab ourselves some meat, and that will look
Aw,
pretty good
give
in
me
that
kitty
section.
kisses.
Basically, try our best to show off
You're
what
so
each and every
cute.
one of these villages is.
Your
And you know
ears
what,
were a
ladies and
lot
gents, I
longer when
think
I
with
first
that,
met
we
you.
have managed to finish everything. I am really, really happy with how our
He
ocean
kind of
bunker
grew
is
attached
turned
to me a
out.
little bit.
I love
Remember we
everything.
were
I
at
love
your party,
everything
but
from
Jet,
our entrance system, the
Jet, it
airlock.
took
I
him a
think this thing
while.
is absolutely brilliant.
Best
I love
birthday
using
ever.
that, just watching the water flow down.
Oh,
If we can
Oliver
make it
really
inside,
liked me,
so
by
we're
the
very
way.
close.
I was covered by
Watching
kittens.
this,
Mm-hmm.
That was the
and
best
doors
birthday ever.
opening up, and then obviously everything from
Loki
the
really
exit,
was really
the
attached to
hidden
you.
chests and storage systems, all of the
It took
different things that
24
we have
years,
going
but they
on.
finally gave me a
I absolutely
birthday I
love
didn't
it. This
regret.
is by far one of my favorite bunkers I've ever made.
No,
on this
I've had
channel,
good
so I really do
birthdays,
hope
but
you
that was
enjoyed this
definitely the
video.
best
If you
one.
did, please hit that
Because
like
considering
button.
I spent my
Really loved it.
21st
Then make
birthday
sure to
alone,
subscribe. But thanks for watching, guys. This has been Mumbo. I'm out. I'll see you later.
It kinda makes up for it.
Filming channel stuff. You know what to do. Link will be on the end screen.
You okay?
But yeah, I'll mention the book. I'm surprised this wasn't mentioned as a resource. I'm just saying hip hop also needs a reform. And all the other blacks agree with this person. Maybe we should also just stop saying the N-word altogether.
Love building Minecraft bases. I also like doing Minecraft-based time challenges, trying to build things in short spaces of time, and I enjoy doing cuts, like this one, where I suddenly cut to a black screen. I always enjoy doing those, and then suddenly I can appear somewhere else in the world. Time has passed, things have happened, and I've lightly cut out a bunch of stuff
that I personally think is boring. However, sometimes it's actually quite nice not to cut out this stuff. People might find it interesting, see my process of bug fixing, and you also might just want to see the redstone contraption and the build be built from end to end.
But yeah, I told Kim,
so that's what we're going to be doing today.
I agree
I'm going
with
to
you,
be
but
building
that was
a
only
base
to a
in
certain
1 hour,
extent.
and the clip is going to be 1 hour long.
Because I won't deny,
Alright,
yes,
I'm going to give myself
slavery was
one
the
last
cause
one
of it.
because I enjoy them.
It
I'm
was
making the
more
most
so
of
the
it, but
fact
that is going to be the
rappers would
final cut.
glorify our deaths.
There are not going to be any more in the video. Okay, I lied a little bit. I need the toilet.
It's the same thing in the TV
and the
media.
Now Kubo's barking like a madman. He's going absolutely mad. I can't even start. Okay, no,
because
stop.
why I told him once it dies down,
let's get to work on this one. So, what is the most important part of the base? I personally would argue it is the storage system. That is where we're going to be starting everything off. So first things first, we need to work out a cool way to do a storage system. Okay, because well, we can't just have a wall of chests. I mean, we can, okay, and that would be perfectly functional, but I really want to focus on the storage system in this build. So we're actually going to do it using shulker boxes, which is a bit of an interesting system, and it's not something I've done in quite some time. Which is probably a bad start for a video where I can't actually cut out all of my mistakes and my confusions. This is probably one of the worst
I just think people need to stop judging people based on their race.
But anyway, let's give this a go. It's actually based... I think the actual design itself is an Exuma Void design, so we're going to be making use of that.
Book I told you
and the concept has been around pretty much since shulker boxes were introduced. People have been trying to look for ways to create cool systems that will sort of like
that's her ancestor.
It does also work with chests, of course, but just shulker boxes are cooler. Let's face it, you can actually take them off the wall, you can take them around with you. What colour should we use?
Time travels, there's like a 5 or 10 year time
This is the first dilemma that I've reached in today's video. Let's go for yellow. In terms of like design style and things, I think we're going to be going for a fairly
trapped in the past for over 5 years.
I would say time works differently. Quite warm and homely. It's definitely going to look better than that. Do not worry. I can feel the concern already, and I don't blame you. Oh, and actually, all of these need to be placed like that, so that we can actually open them. Yeah, so that they can actually open outwards, because that would be bad news. All right. Okay. Okay. How does this work then? I'm not going to do any of my redstone, at least exposed redstone, on any of the crazy colours, because I think that would look really daft. I'm fairly certain. Let's try and think. I'm trying to think. Okay, I think it's redstone dust here. 4 ticks here. Redstone dust, cool. 2 ticks here. Torch. And then that is the repeating pattern. Yes. I do have the world download, so I can refer to it. That's not a big problem. But yeah, I think that's it. Because what we're trying to do is we're trying to alternate the powering between each one of the hoppers, so that the item has a chance to try and go into this shulker box. And then if it doesn't go into the shulker box, it then drops down a hopper, gets stuck there, tries to go into that shulker box. If it doesn't go into the shulker box, and the way that we decide what goes into the shulker box is the shulker box is filled with all sorts of items kind of done like this. So if a chest goes past, it will actually stack up with those chests. That's essentially what's happening here. That's what we're trying to do. Whether or not it works or not, I mean, let's see. We're going to have to get all of the modules in place, so they kind of repeat on top of one another like this.
Because I remember the younger sibling, he never met his aunt.
And it's so funny when you're recording without cuts, how much you realise that you chop out of your videos. Like, all of this would be gone. I would be like, yeah, I want to build a storage thing, shulker boxes. Here's how I'm going to do it. This is sort of how it works. And then it's there. You don't see any of this stuff. And the good news is that I've got 3 more of these to build, so you're going to be seeing plenty more of them.
Robert would have put 2 and 2 together. He would have had John killed.
Boom, boom, boom. Redstone dust. I wonder how fast I can get a building.
That's why Ned had to lie to him and say that it's my son. I had an affair with a whore.
They're quite a nice little... This is a really nice little circuit. It's a really, really nice little system that Exuma has created here. It makes total sense. It works really, really well. Hopefully it's reliable. I mean, this design was uploaded because I watched the video earlier to refresh my memory. It was uploaded in 2016, so it's nearly 3 years old now. But there's no way that any of the redstone possibly could have changed. In terms of this is... There are some redstone contraptions that you look at and you're like, oh, that's based on some some kind of tricky game mechanics, there's a chance that they'll be fixed. This is what I would consider like solid redstone. It is just powering and depowering of things. There is no way that anything that Mojang has done should affect this design. But you never know. You know, it is Minecraft. It can occasionally throw up some rather interesting things. Like,